What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Swanky Disc Golf. I am your host, Luke. I'm joined by Reed, and today we are talking about round 2 of the 2025 Disc Golf Worlds happening over in Finland. This might have been the best disc golf round of all time by one of our MPO players. We also have some crazy movement happening on the FPO side. I can't wait to break it down with you guys. If you didn't know, we're going to be posting a podcast/video reacting to and breaking down every single round of Worlds this year. So be sure to hit the subscribe button to join us. And I also want to remind you that you can get 10% off discgolfdealsusa.com if you use our link, discgolfdealsusa.com/swankydiscgolf. You can get 10% off all your purchases. They're an incredible disc golf retailer. They have an insane amount of inventory. They have the best deals on the internet. They have really solid shipping, US-based company. They've been a huge partner with Swanky Disc Golf for a long time now. We love working with them. That's where we get all of our discs from. They also have all sorts of products. They have bags, they have accessories, they have these blog posts for help and advice. Really cool website. Use our link in the description of this YouTube channel, or if you're listening to this on one of our audio-only platforms, go to discgolfdealsusa.com/swankydiscgolf and you'll get 10% off. Let's jump into it, and we're going to start with the FPO side. Yesterday, we talked about round 1, Nokia Finland, the Beast, possibly the last tournament that the Beast is going to be played in. Today, we were in Tampere, Finland. It was either Tampere or Tampere. I heard them say it different ways, so I don't know. It's called the Monster.
Who knows?
Much more challenging course, or it's supposed to be, but we had a few players absolutely pop off this day. Number 1 in the FPO field coming out of round 2 is Owen Scoggins. We talked about her yesterday. When she's in top 5 contention, she's a very dangerous player. She's super experienced, not a stranger to lead cards, not a stranger to winning tournaments, and she popped off shooting 5 under. Total score, 8 under par. She's now 2 strokes off of Lida. I think that's how you pronounce it. I do apologize. Finnish local. And then shout out to Henra Blomroos at 5 under par, Silva Saarinen at 4 under par. They are looking so good out there. It's really awesome to see this home field advantage for the Finns and them taking full advantage. Also, notably, we were talking about Kristen Tatar. Kristen Tatar had a bit of a rough day yesterday. She, in her post-round interview, said she was struggling with some anxiety and some different things, and she has dropped 5 more places. She shot 3 over par today, which leaves her at 3 over par for the tournament. This was a very challenging course. It was really cool to see. There were some really awesome highlight putts. If you guys haven't seen this course yet, really, especially on the putting green, really crazy putting greens, like baskets on these crazy hills. So many rollaway opportunities, water in the background behind baskets. Really cool course, really challenging. What did you think about the FPO field? What were some of your takeaways for round 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of said this yesterday too when we were talking about it, but I mean, the FPO is not settled at all until in a 5-round event until round 4. I mean, there's going to be some pretty hefty ebbs and flows, and the only constant remaining is Owen. I mean, I think we see Silva and Henna, they're going to maintain their position on the lead card going into next round, but I certainly wouldn't call their performances today steady. They had a lot of ups and downs through their rounds, and it felt like there were times where it could have all gone off the rails. So it's just, it's very fragile what we're seeing in the FPO right now, where Owen just feels like it's her skill on the putting green, it's her consistency with the forehand. She's just able to mitigate risk very well. That's normally something we're seeing from Kristen, notably not something we are seeing from her this week as her struggles continue. But Owen's taking full advantage of that, and consistency is the name of the game for her. So if she can continue to put down 4 under average for the rest of the tournament, you'll see her name at the top, I have no doubt.
Which would be really awesome. Big Owen Scoggins fan. She is such a cool person, such a fun personality on the course, and it would be really awesome to see her win Worlds. I don't know how old she is exactly, but I want to say she's in her 40s, correct?
I believe she's competed in Masters tournaments. So, yeah, I do think she's competed in, at least in an MP40 event.
That would be really
so
cool.
I do think she is
That's
40
definitely
plus.
that's definitely the storyline of FPO right now, shooting 1016 rated. So just to say, I would actually call, I think, Silva and Henna's rounds fairly steady. One, Silva shot even, Ida shot 2 under, Henna, or Lita, shot 2 under, Henna shot 1 over, which is pretty on par, which granted, you don't really want to be on par for what people are doing, but shooting an even rated, or an even round, is 983 rated, and really keeping her ahead of the field. There was not a lot of players above, or I should say below par, in the FPO field on the Monster. It's a super challenging course. I think Own just popped off. I mean, you can probably count the number of 1,000 rated rounds there have been in the FPO division, and to do it on this massive stage at one of the most difficult courses in the world right now, so cool to see. And something that we actually have noticed, Kristen has had some flashes of putting woes in the past. And I mentioned these are really unforgiving putting greens. A little bit more forgiving on the Beast, but we even saw round 1, the very first hole, Kristen Tatar missed a 15-foot birdie putt, and it turned into a bogey. So I think maybe it's some putting woes. Maybe there's something behind the scenes happening that's caught. I feel like the mental fatigue wears on a player so much more on the putting green than anywhere else. You step up to a putt, and it's just you and the basket. There's nothing in between you. That is, I don't know, crazy mental struggles to get it going on the putting green. And so maybe that's some of the difficulties. I don't know. Owen Scoggins is known to be a pretty good putter, and she's on fire. Moved up 5 places. Some other notable movement, I don't know if her name is Ida or Ida, but she moved up 27 spaces today, 5 under par. We also saw Alexis Mandujano moving up 21 places, tied for 10th place now with Evelina Salonen, moved up 18 places. And in the FPO field, seriously, any one of these players is capable of shooting a crazy hot 1,000 rated round, and I genuinely feel like any one of these players is capable of shooting a really bad 5 over, 8 over round, and nobody's out of it. If Evelina keeps jumping spots every single day, you could absolutely see a repeat still. She is definitely not out of it. I think it'd be awesome to see her repeat, and to see her win on the home turf would be really cool.
Yeah.
What would you give her odds of coming back? Maybe not her exact odds, but what do you think of Evelina? Does she still have a chance to repeat?
Evelina needs to stay alive tomorrow, and if she can get that done, if she can remain within 8 to 10 strokes going into the final 2 days of the Beast, she can absolutely still win this tournament. I think she could win the event with back-to-back 8 unders at the Beast. I think she's capable of that.
She's definitely
it's
capable
just
of that.
she's got to survive at the Monster. Not exactly a course that I feel favors her. She struggled to putt today. That was obviously you shouted it out. I mean, we're gonna see Owen today go 12 for 12 C1X, and Evelina's got rocking a 50% from that same mark. So it's just, I mean, there you go. That's a 6-stroke difference right there, and that doesn't take into account scramble rate and C2. So it's just a struggle for her for sure.
Owen being 12 for 12 is wild. From C1.
Yeah, 12 for 12, 0 OB. There's not a ton of OB out on this course, so it's not exactly crazy to go without an OB stroke, but it certainly helps. And so she was lighting it up on the putting green today. Something I want to shout out about Owen, as we were talking about whether or not she's 40, she is the 5-time back-to-back since 2021 FPO Masters, FP40 Masters champion. So like the world champion, the Masters World's champion, she has won 5 times in a row.
That's insane.
So
and
not only is she 40, she's far and away the best 40-year-old in the FPO division.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to Own. It'd be
That is so
crazy.
cool.
I mean, she literally has already won a world championship this month. She won the 2025 world championship earlier this
Masters.
month.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if she could lock down the Masters World Championship and the real one, that would be insane.
That would be such a cool stat. I'm kind of pulling for Own now. I mean, we're always rooting for Own. She's awesome, but that would be such a cool achievement. And now we have the big storyline on the MPO side. Ezra Aderhold popping off 14 under par at the Monster. We talked about the Monster yesterday. We said the last rated round at the Monster, 6 under, was shooting 1060 rated, I believe is what I said. 1060 rated for 6 under par. He just shot 14 under par. And obviously the way ratings work, it's going to be a little wonky. It's not just going to be like, oh, crazy, because you do have Niklas Antila shooting 10 under par, also popping off. There's a lot that goes into ratings. This one ended up being 1094 rated. Ratings don't really matter. There's been a couple 1100 rated rounds, and one of the reasons why we're saying this is possibly the best round of disc golf ever is because Gannon Buhr said it.
Yep.
Gannon Buhr, in his post-round interview, said he thinks it's the best round of disc golf ever played. We talked about yesterday all over the place how difficult this course was going to be, and we were right on most of our predictions because yesterday there were many double-digit under par rounds, and we were thinking like you're gonna have to go double-digit under par at the Beast. Over here, we were thinking between 6 to 8 under was going to be like super solid rounds, and that's what we're seeing. Only 2 players went double digits under. Ezra Aderhold, Niklas Antila, who Niklas was saying he felt so good about his round. He felt like he had some issues warming up. He didn't feel confident, and then he was like, I did so well this round, is basically what he's saying. 10 under par. Ezra Aderhold shooting 14 under, jumping 10 positions. He is now in first place by 4 strokes, which is insane. We were talking about Sully Tipton. He's still in second place. He did his job, I feel like. In any other day, he would have maintained his lead if it wasn't for Ezra Aderhold shooting possibly the best round of all time. And it was largely also, again, thanks to his putting. He did have 90% fairway hits. He was 2 for 2 scrambling. He did a really good job off the tee. But he was 10 for 12 from C1X, and some of it, you guys have to go watch these highlight putts. You will see the specific putting green that I'm talking about. Do you know which hole it is? It's escaping my mind, but it's literally just these giant mounds, and he's putting from down at the bottom of the mounds, and you can easily launch the disc 30 to 40 feet past the basket when you run it, and he cashes the putt. Not a single bogey on the day. Absolutely insane round. And then, so rounding out the top 5, we have Niklas and Gannon Buhr still up there, tied for 3rd place. Anthony Barella had a phenomenal round. He had some crazy highlight putts out there. I almost hated seeing him putt from the knee from like 60 feet away, just so clean, cashing it when, as an amateur, you know the struggle of standing there 20 feet away, just straight looking at the basket, struggling with that putt. He popped off. Adam Hammes also had a good round. Kind of maintained. He dropped 3 spots and he shot 5 under par. Super, super competitive tournament. Looking at our previous world champions, Isaac Robinson jumped 26 spots shooting 5 under. That goes to show you how difficult this course was. I think that's a really good image. Isaac Robinson was way down on the leaderboards. He's jumped 26 positions by shooting 5 under par. That's insane. Tell me your thoughts, Reed. What are some takeaways from this round? Is this possibly the best round of disc golf ever played by Ezra Aderhold? So cool. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely an impressive round. I mean, for Gannon to get up there feeling pretty good about his 7 under, like, you know, he left some strokes out there. Hole 1 was giving people fits, and it gave him a problem as well. Yeah. So it's not a surprise. But for him to be like, you know, happy with 7 under, happy to stay in the mix, and then shout out Ezra for literally doubling his score under par.
That's insane.
It's crazy. What an effort from Ezra, and certainly we've seen crazier scores, but not on courses this difficult. I think probably
This is insane.
Yeah, this is insane. I mean, we've seen 18 unders on courses like the Memorial courses out there in Arizona. We've seen 17 unders at Jonesboro. We've seen 18 under at Deglow and Waco. But like, this course is more difficult than all of those, certainly. So a 14 under is definitely in contention for one of the greatest rounds ever thrown. Now, Ezra has a big job now to come up
Yes.
from that. Like, the good news is you're going into all these holes now with such good vibes. Like, I just crushed this course.
100%.
Like, he can say of 14 holes tomorrow, I just birdied this yesterday. He can say that of 14 different holes. So if he can keep the putter hot, I mean, oh my goodness, he was draining them from outside of 40 like it was nobody's business. Very excited to see how Ezra handles the pressure of being on the top again, coming into lead card next or tomorrow. It's not the same Ezra we've seen before. We've talked about this is like the year of guys getting the monkey off their back. And Ezra already got his. He got his earlier in the season. And so with winning the Des Moines Challenge, hopefully, or it wasn't called that this year. It was called the Skmania Challenge in Des Moines. But he did get it. And congrats. I think that's going to mean a lot going into tomorrow, that he is a proven winner out there. Some other things I want to shout out. Yesterday, we kind of looked at the leaderboard and said, here's the 5 guys that kind of stand out to me. Of those 5 guys, 4 of them are in the top 5 with Antela, Burr, Barella, and Hammis. I think we shouted all of them out by name. The only one that we did shout out that dropped off is, unfortunately, Ezra Robinson, who fell quite substantially off of his 9 under. I believe he shot over par today. Which is unfortunate. But, like what we were saying is like these proven winners, they know how to be consistent, and that is showing out of the 6 guys in the top, 4 of them are anchors for us on the tour. So the last thing that I'll say, I mean, it's big for Sully. I'm glad he's up there. He has a lot of work to do, but I do think the pressure's off. Going into round 3, the pressure's off of him. He had somebody nearly triple his score under par, and he's no longer the leader, but he does get to stay on lead card and hang with the greats. Yep. He gets to hang with Antela and Burr and Aderhold, and he has a big task ahead of him, but it is certainly with less pressure going into round 3. We did say that people would lose the tournament in the next 2 days. We said that today and tomorrow, people are going to lose this tournament. And I fear that that is happening with the score being 17 under par. We looked down the leaderboard at names that I wish were in contention. Isaac and Ricky at 9 under. You just have to feel like this tournament is getting away from them, and tomorrow is their last chance. I think tomorrow they need to put on a show similar to Aderhold's show today. And if we get good weather tomorrow, then that could happen. The weather was a little bit sketchy today, which makes Aderhold's performance all the more impressive.
Insane.
But if we get good weather and if one of them finds their groove, they can throw themselves back into it. Even Heimberg is teetering on the edge at 11 under. I'm not sure where the line is for me, but the fact that Aderholds pushed it all the way up to 22 and Burr with kind of a down round is already at 17, I struggle to feel like 11 is cutting it through 2 rounds, and certainly not 9. So I think tomorrow is make or break. It's time for these guys to throw a hot round or probably just bow out because their tournament might be over tomorrow.
Yeah, certainly could be. I think tomorrow it'll be really interesting to see. I don't know how we could expect another 14 under to happen, even on better conditions, and they now have a round under their belts. Like we say, Gannon Burr had a kind of down round. That's the 7 under's the third highest score that was accomplished. We had 14 being the highest, 110, a few 9s, I think, a couple 9s, maybe just 1 9. I think 1 9 under, and then several 7 unders. 7 under was like elite today,
Yeah.
and it still netted him tied for third place. And we talk about consistency. We talk about this with Kristen Tatar all the time. Some people might hang with her. Typically, she's obviously struggling this tournament, but in the past she's stayed super solid all 5 rounds, and that's typically what wins it for her. Is we'll get an FPO player like Owen Scoggins or somebody else shooting 5, 6, 7 under one day, but then the other days that drops so significantly. Gannon Buhr, I think he's going to be good for 7 under again tomorrow. 7 to 10 under again tomorrow.
Definitely.
And Ezra Aderhold clearly has it in him, and he's won a tournament. I think he's going to have that confidence going into it, and he doesn't have to shoot 14 under at this point. He can shoot 6 to 8 under probably and be totally fine. So I think he'll be fine there, but I think Gannon Buhr is going to continue to have 5 steady rounds and not miss a single beat, and maybe coming into the last day, he might not be in first place, but he'll have that position. Not that he wants to not be in first place, or he probably wants to be in first place going into the final day. I would just worry about, I don't want to say worry about Ezra. He's so good. He's such an incredible, he has all the tools in his belt. He's got crushing distance. Today he showed he has an insane putt. He has good scramble. And he has won one, but Gannon Buhr is just so inevitable. It's really hard to count him out. Still not, I don't think he'd be the favorite at this point. A 4-stroke lead is a big difference maker. Ezra's confidence can be kind of through the roof tomorrow. I don't think we're going to see another 14 under, though. I feel like this was a special round, and it's unfortunately not going to be the most iconic round of all time. I don't think it'll be remembered for that. Is it possibly the most difficult round ever? I think there's definitely a case that Gannon Buhr is the best player on the planet, and that's what he's saying. So I think
that is his personal opinion.
Yeah, it is his personal opinion. But I think it could have been the best. Maybe it's the most impressive disc golf round ever played.
It doesn't have the prestige of being a final round or B an 18 under. You know, those
That's
two
what I'm
things
saying.
kind of
It's
like
not an
give it the
iconic
prestige.
round.
But it could be the most impressive disc golf round, the highest difficulty disc golf round ever. And I tend to agree that the 14 under probably won't get achieved again tomorrow because of what we just said. It might be the most difficult round ever shot. But a lot of times when we see a guy hit this line of like a really high
people's
mark,
expectations are going to change.
Yeah, what I think is that because of the deficit now, we are going to see more people throwing with reckless abandon tomorrow.
Yep.
There's less careful and more it's make or break, it's right now, and I do think that'll lead to some people crashing out. There's going to be probably, I expect more 10 and 11 and maybe even 12 unders tomorrow. That's kind of what I expect, that our top guys will be shooting closer to that. They've now had one round in tournament out at this course. They get more reps. I don't think 14 unders happening again, but I do think 10 through 12 will be more common. At least like 8 through 11 will be more common tomorrow than it was today. And we're going to see these scores get pushed a little bit. That is weather, of course, impending.
Yes.
Something that I'm noticing looking at this leaderboard is we have a pool reset going into tomorrow, and we are getting a Pool B player onto the chase card.
Wow.
So the AB, Adam Hammis, and Austin Turner will be joined by Lenny Kembayanen. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I gave it a shot. He shot 10 under today at the Beast.
Wow.
And he gets to go right back to the Monster where he shot a very respectable 6 under on the first day.
Yes, I'm seeing that now.
And so that's really cool to get to go to leave the B pool behind and get to go play with the A poolers at the Monster day 3 is huge.
Yes, that is. I'm having a hard time understanding how it works, but I think we'll have a few people leaving the B pool and joining them over there because we have several people who jumped up Somebody jumped up to 26th place. Somebody jumped up
Could
to
that
31st
potentially
place.
be wrong? It feels like they shouldn't. How is that possible? Is he going to
I
play?
have no idea how that works.
Wait, well, he's played the Beast and the Monster, and so has everyone else.
That's true. So they just go back to the monster.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. And if you're,
I think
if
that
you're
makes sense.
still at, yeah, it makes sense. Everybody's played the 2 courses now, and everyone will play the 2 courses again in rounds 3 and 4. So yeah, it makes sense. Okay,
Yes.
I was so confused too for a second there. Woo.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're saying, though. I think everybody has this round under the belt now, and people who are on the bubble, the expectation definitely changed. The commentators were even talking about it going into this round, saying 6 under, 7 under is going to be such a good round. I think a lot of players, and this happens, I feel like, at every tournament, but a lot of players were going out there in their minds knowing, I can shoot 10 under par here. I'd be happy with 6 to 8. And now, tomorrow, we have some very dangerous players on the bubble. Specifically, I'm looking at Anthony Barella, Adam Hammis. Anthony Barella coming off of a super hot round, 9 under. They're at 16. I feel like, there's still a lot of disc golf left to play, so I might even put all the way down to Calvin Heimberg at 11 under, Chris Dickerson at 10 under, maybe kind of on the bubble. But really on the bubble, we have Barella, Hammis, Aaron Gossage kind of at 12 under. But those are some dangerous players who are going to go into tomorrow, and Anthony Barella is probably thinking, I need to shoot 10 under par. And he's very well capable of doing that. And
Absolutely.
He's going to jump up to 26, and all it takes is a little bit of complacency out of 1 or 2 of our top guys. I could see him jumping up to 26 under par. That means Sully Tipton, Niklas Antila, and Gannon Buhr have to shoot well 5 to 6 under par to stay on that lead card. And Ezra Aderholds, shooting 4 under par is not a given at this course for any player.
No.
4 under par was a good round. 4 under par was moving people up the leaderboard.
Yeah, honestly, I would say that if you were trying to guess what the leader will be at going into day 4 after tomorrow,
Yes, yeah.
I would say that 28 is probably a safe bet, maybe even 27.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, I would say so.
I think Sully and Ezra and Nicholas and Gannon, even AB with a 12 under, can get to that 28 mark. I think that's probably what we're looking at. Leader going into tomorrow is probably going to be around 28.
I like that prediction. We'll see if it happens. Could have some bad weather, could have some bad rounds. That's the other thing. All it takes is one day of really rainy, muddy disc golf for Ezra, Sully, or Niklas, or Gannon to completely slip up and fumble and have somebody climb up the ranks. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below after you finish round 2. Who do you think is the most likely to win, FPO or MPO? I think my money might still be on Gannon, which sounds crazy. Ezra Aderholds, it would be so awesome to see. I'm just really glazing Gannon Buhr right now, but I don't know. Owen Scoggins, I think, has to be a favorite now at this point. But those are our picks. What are your picks? Thank you guys so much for watching on YouTube or listening, following along. Don't forget, we're going to be posting every single day of Worlds. We'll see you again tomorrow. Stay swanky.
Stay swanky.